Hi and welcome back to Let's Review It. If you're anything like me, you're probably getting a little bit bored. You've probably already been on eBay researching the next big thing or the next project. Well, it got me to thinking the other day that maybe I could use this time to work on a little project myself, and I started reminiscing about what got me into biking in the first place. I've already told the story about the Ducati 916 and how it eventually led to me getting the Panigale V4, and if you haven't already watched that video, there's a link in the description above. So what was your first bike? What was it that got you on the road in the first place? Now I'm really interested in this, so make sure that you put your first bike in the comments below. Now I've been spending a little bit of time researching my first bike and I think I found one. Well, this was mine. An Aprilia RS125. This is a 1999 T-Reg, 20 years old. It's had 15 owners, covered 30,000 miles. So first bike, current bike, so excited. I want to get all the bodywork off this, get underneath it and see what it's really all about. Apparently it's been rebuilt, but you know, don't really know. But I'm going to strip it off. I'm going to give it a full rebuild over the next couple of months, and you guys will be able to join me on that. And then at the end, I'm going to auction it off to its new home after a few cheeky rides in the country, of course. So stay tuned, here we go. So I've already decided what my first purchase is going to be. It's going to be some bobbins for the paddock stand. So no bobbins came. Looks like it might even be cross-threaded where the bobbins go, and the side stand isn't bolted on properly, so I'm gonna have to do that first of all. So obviously when you're 17, paddock stand bobbins is like a luxury. So I did what I would have done when I was 17, and I put some bolts in there just to allow me to get the rear wheel off the ground. First modification complete, some cheap ass bolts. Yeah. So in traditional 90s fashion, this bike is fitted with a gammy alarm and immobiliser. I've no idea what these buttons do. I don't really see the point in it. It's got one indicator left on it, and I assume that is so that you can see whether the alarm is on or off, but that is one of the first things that's coming off of this bike. So first thing I'm going to do is test all the lights before I strip that down, because then I can look at the electrics when all the bodywork's off. So here we go. And finally, we must make sure that the horn works. Oh God, that's horrendous. What even is that? Oh, look at that. That's lovely. It's red. But it works, and that's all that matters. So all of the lights appear to work, with the exception of the indicators, because there aren't any. But the one indicator that is on there does seem to work, so that would imply that all the electrics are okay. All the clocks seem to work. I need to get the front wheel off the ground to see if the front speedo cable is okay, because they're notorious for snapping. If you look down there, it doesn't look too bad, to be fair, but we'll have a look at that. Everything else under here seems to look okay so far, nothing too untoward. But yeah, I'm going to get all the bodywork off and see what pleasures await. So, findings so far. There's a whole bunch of this red anodized crap under here, and I'm not a massive fan of that, so that has all got to go. There's loads of red conduit, presumably to go with the original colour scheme. That's all going to go back to black. There's a data tool alarm under here, that's got to go. Loads and loads of exposed wiring, so that's all going to be redone and resealed. I've also noticed that at some point the front subframe has had some sort of monumental crash, so that's got to be replaced as well. There's a leak from this really nice anodized brake reservoir, so that's got to go. Yeah, so nothing major to report so far. So cosmetically it's not too bad. It's obviously had a new alloy radiator at some point, Samco hoses. There's a little bit of frame scratching, but I reckon I could probably polish that out. Gonna need some new mounting points for the bodywork there. What else we got? Some gammy carbon look hill plates, great in the 90s. Have to have a look at this because that's not going to be fun to ride with. In fact, all of this can come off and have a bit of a clean up, I think. What else? The exhaust hanger has been fashioned out of a piece of sheet metal. Yeah, not too sure what to say about that. Don't really know whether to put pillion pegs back on. If I'm not going to put pillion pegs back on, then I may as well get rid of the seat unit and put a single seat unit on it. Don't really know. Would that lower the appeal? Not sure. So, just about to take the calipers off, and watch this. Hand tight. This is why you should always check the bike. So let's take these off and have a look at the brake pad depth. It's quite tight fit. So they look like they're about 100 years old. I think we'll get those out and we'll have a look. He says. So that's a little bugger there, that. It's as small as. It's quite hard to see, but that's quite important because it holds that pin in. So don't lose that, or you'll need to buy a new one anyway. Let's see if we can get this bloody pin out there. There she goes. And out they come. Wowee. Look at those. They are fucking horrific. So they're going in the bin. So seeing as the front brakes were knackered, I thought I'd have a look at the rear, and one little snagging point is this. So it's kind of kinked at a funny angle and it's touching the brake caliper, which might not be an issue, but seems a bit strange, so I'm gonna have to sort that out. And it's also, I don't know if you can see this, it's got a nice hairband to hold that in place. Oh no, it's not a hairband, it's in fact a cable tie, but I'm gonna have to sort that out as well. A bit more meat left on them ones, but they still look like the caliper could use a bit of a clean up as well. It looks like it was put back on the bike before it even finished drying, which is not ideal. So we'll leave those pads on, but give that a good clean up, I think. Right, so I think that's it for today. I've got a long list of things to do. On my shopping list so far, I've got indicators front and rear, heat shrink to wrap some of these wires that are exposed, some black conduit in mixed sizes to get rid of this red stuff, some new bar ends, levers, a new front subframe, no idea how much that's going to cost, some new frame mounts to replace these blue monstrosities here with the correct items that they've actually got a quick release fastener on them normally, some new body fasteners for when the bodywork goes back to normal. A standard screen, I prefer that to the black one, so the black one will go with it. New exhaust hanger that's not fashioned out of some temporary material. A new fuel filler cap because this one's a little bit old and decrepit. Some new hill plates to replace the carbon look. A new brake fluid reservoir, this one's leaking and I don't like the anodized stuff anyway. Obviously some new fluid and I've got to bleed the brakes through. Some new two-stroke oil. Probably some like a bleed or a flush kit. A new oil tank lid because this one, the sensor is covered with what can only be described as bathroom mastic, so it's clearly an issue there. It needs a new front brake pad, some brake cleaner fluid, all that kind of stuff. A new spark plug, I think. A new temperature sensor, so when the bike's warming up, the temperature's jumping up and down. It could be an electrical fault, but I think I'm going to get a sensor anyway, and I'm probably going to fit an Optimate cable at the same time. Hopefully all of that will mean the bike will run properly, so I'm going to jump on the old computer and see what I can get. Right, so that's it for part one. I've got a massive shopping list, and I'm really not too sure whether I'm going to be able to get all the parts I need whilst we're obviously in lockdown, so it could be a bit of a challenge. I might have to reach out to some of the groups online. Make sure you subscribe, because there's probably going to be another 2 or 3 parts to this project, and who knows, you might even want to be the person that bids on it at the end. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave your comments below, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.